Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to Brave Kenya TV. We're going to review the news that has made headlines in the last 24 hours or so, from the ridiculous to the outrageous. You know, in Kenya nowadays, it's like those two extremes. There's a bit of sublime and a bit of commendable in between. If you're new to this channel, kindly please take a moment to subscribe and give this video a big like. Now, you saw this one. President Ruto was hosting the Hindu faithful celebrating Diwali at State House, the first of such a function that has been held at State House. Clearly, he's trying to make inroads into this community, and his social media handle was not being left behind, where he said, "Happy Diwali." Someone came back straight away and said, "Si utume tu kwa email ya Dani, don't waste your time. We know who this is meant for." And then we saw this one from Nation saying, KCB gets a note to sell National Bank to Nigerian lender. Someone else didn't want to leave anything to the imagination, came back and said, "This is the Nigerian lender." Mbona anamsalimu akiwa amechunga mfuko ya pesa. This guy's man. Like, this guy's got a reputation with money. That's what he's trying to imply here. And it's not just Ruto who's got a problem with this money thing. It cascades to the county levels, where actually grand corruption is taking place. The governors are centers of corruption in Kenya. Now, Wavinya was before the Senate Public Accounts Committee to explain the findings of the auditor's report for 2023. And she seemed so stressed and confused right from the beginning. She took the wrong oath. She had to repeat it.
Governor, which oath did you read? Are you reading an oath in your mind, or the oath that is...
And it did not help that her deputy governor, Francis Mwangangi, who was seated beside her, also seemed equally tense and stressed. But the senators are not pulling any punches with this duo.
The question is, where is even evidence to the National Treasury to try and clear, because it is not attached? Where is it in CCM? Don't display your incompetence here.
This guy comes and says, "Ukistajabu ya mwengi Mutuse, utayaona ya Wavinya ndeti." And then another guy came here and says, "Wakamba kuna mahali walikosea, hata hawajapona embarrassment ya Mutuse." Confused governor Wavinya ndeti. Man, Kenyans, man. You guys are not fair, man. Mutuse, of course, with that epic Senate cross-examination by Elisha Ngoya that went viral, and that got him a lot of ridicule, even from Kamba leaders.
Ibangiu siya view, mondume akulwa kisungu, chamwema, akulwa kinugenge, chamwema, akulwa waendi skuli yeba, chamwema.
Listen, I didn't get what he said there, but the way he's busting laughing, man. And everyone could tell that this motion was not his motion. He was just picked, given a script, and went to present it. And he didn't do a very good job at it either. Now, Oga Obina comes out and says that he's actually the one who came up with the idea of giving William Ruto a ride on the wheelbarrow. It was one of the most iconic moments in that campaign season of 2022 elections. And it served to cement that identity of hustler, bottom up. And people really bought into it. But once they came into power, of course, things have changed completely. Now, people quickly realized that the reality was very different from what they had been promised. Things are getting harder than they were before Ruto came into office. And this is what Kenyans think of the wheelbarrow. Ruto is just proper pushing them and throwing them off a cliff. This is exactly what Kenyans feel about Ruto and the wheelbarrow. And you could see this during the Gen Z protests in Eldoret. They pulled down the UDA wheelbarrow, followed by a big celebration, which was very symbolic. They hated this new regime and its deceptions. But this lady here seems to have a very sensible explanation of what happened here. Listening.
In my mind, I believe Adani alifund. Hiyo 4 billion tunaambiwa spending limit ya presidential campaign. I believe alifund, and that is why he's here to collect.
You believe these are just allegations?
I believe
okay.
Alifund. Because you see, we've made campaigns very expensive. Zuli mtu akikuja ground, utaki kusikia Kenya anasema, wewe unataka unataka t-shirt. Huyu politician atafanya nini? Atatafuta mfadhili. Lakini mfadhili juu ni biashara atakwambia, na mimi next time nimeangalia huku kwenye naona electricity, naona airport, naweza invest. Biashara hana makosa. Yeye amekaa ku return pesa yake. So mimi naweza ambia Kenya, why should we say Mama Mboga haku benefit na bottom up? Yeah, alisha benefit during campaigns.
Okay.
So sisi tukiangalia economy.
So benefit yetu ilikuwa 500 ama 1000. Kiongozi Justina.
Mama Mboga na huyo mtu wa bodaboda, hiyo ndio ilikuwa yake.
Oh.
Kwa hivyo sahi hata asicomplain.
So there you have it. Yeah. This is exactly what they plan to do, and they're doing it. You know, they plan to pour the money up front, get the votes, and then now start repaying their financiers and also eat some for themselves. I think this is exactly what is happening. Actually, it makes a lot of sense. Now, nothing has caused as much outrage in Kenya in the last few months as these abductions, tortures, and killings of young Kenyans. And of course, the latest and most gripping one is that of blogger and activist Maverick, who has been missing for almost a week now. And Kenyans have flooded Twitter, millions of tweets going out there, everyone retweeting, everyone saying release Aoko, produce Aoko. Kenyans have really put their weight behind this. And I don't know the thinking behind this regime, to be honest. I don't know why they're keeping Aoko for this long. I don't know why a regime in the first place could actually go out to abduct its own citizens whom they're meant to protect, and then keep them in hold when the citizens are crying out like they're showing them the middle finger. They don't care. They're saying, do whatever you want. This is the height of impunity. And Kenyans have come out to vehemently condemn this behavior from the authorities, led by none other than General Miguna, who says, patriots, let us declare war on all abductors, gather in large numbers, and arrest, beat up, chase away, or lynch all abductors. Enough is enough. Whoa. He's going all out. He's going extreme on this right now. He's saying, look, the right of self-defense. These are people who are operating outside the constitution, and they're taking advantage of the fact that people are not actually trying to protect themselves. People expect that these are legal forces. These are policemen who are trying to do their job. But in reality, this is a ragtag militia that is operating outside the command of the Inspector General of Police. So these are criminals, truth be told. And as much as we'd like to be nice and law-abiding, but Kenyans need to start resisting this kind of arrests because they are extrajudicial, and some of the people arrested have ended up dead. If someone like Aoko, who's well known, who's got networks who can cry out on our behalf, has taken this long even to be released. You saw what happened to Bomb Jaggi. Was it 32 days he was in captivity until they released him on the morning when the police commissioner was actually meant to go to jail? It just shows that this government does not care about the law, does not care about the constitution, and they need to be told to their faces that this is wrong. And Kalonzo Musyoka, credit to him, and other leaders like Kioni and Wamalwa came out and gave a presser where they said that Ruto should resign immediately because he has contravened his oath of office. He took an oath to protect Kenyans, but on the contrary, he's actually the one masterminding these abductions and killings. You know, Kalonzo is citing Gachagua, saying Gachagua actually admitted that abductions have been taking place. So if the deputy president knows something about it, then we should listen. So that's a very credible source right there, because the deputy president sits in the National Security Council and receives the same intelligence reports as the president. So he clearly knows something here. And the other most recent abduction has been that of Lavani Miller, who has been missing for a few days now. But luckily, he has been found. He has been released. Hussein Khalidia says Comrade Lavani has been found. His family says he was tortured. Oh my. They've asked for time and will say more later. So this looks very similar. It mirrors that of Bomb Jaggi, who needed a long time, almost more than 2 weeks for him to recuperate before he could face the media and speak about his ordeal in captivity. These guys mess you up proper. They really employ the weapon of torture on people in a way that is subhuman. And even people who campaigned to put Ruto into office, the likes of Nelson Harvey, renowned lawyer. This is a guy I respect, He's an intellectual. He is a senior counsel, and he is admitting that he did not foresee this from Ruto.
I don't know. I mean, and I say this helplessly because we worked so hard to put this government in place, both in court and in the public arena campaigning. Why must we just adopt the bad things we found in place? Can we just be good, even if it's for 5 years? We can't be good. Yeah, I don't know how to say it. You see, I speak the truth. I don't know how to say it. Why can't we just be good? We said we will not do what Uhuru Kenyatta and Karanja Kibicho and Fred Matiang'i did. Why are we doing it?
There's no reason whatsoever why a president should turn machinery of abduction and torture and killing against its own citizens. I mean, you've got the police. Why don't you follow the constitution? This cannot be tolerated. And Safina, Deputy Party Leader Willis Otieno, puts it well when he says the Gen Z will have their day with this president.
The people you are killing, the Gen Zs you are killing and forcefully abducting, they have one advantage over you. They have the advantage of time and age. They will outlive you. So it means, at the time when you exit office, Gen Zs will be the ones occupying those offices. They will deal with you. And as I've said, they have advantage of time and age. They can comfortably see you through the court and the prisons until you die. While them, they are still young and agile, serving the Republic. So be very careful. Okay. But it's not for me to advise anybody.
Man, Kenyans are creative. They even had to bring back Mzee Kenyatta.
Muko tayari jameni kushirikiana na mimi tupeleke hii Kenya mbele?
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and give us a big like so we can continue bringing you such content. God bless. Bye-bye.